Hey guys, and welcome to another Patreon video of myself, Jim, Punk Raider, and Denver Dave. And for this Patreon exclusive video, we're going to be talking about the NFL Honors List that just came out last week and how we fared in our preseason picks of who was going to win all these awards. We did okay, didn't we, Dave?
I did.
Some of us did all right. I think I did okay.
We didn't. None of us covered ourselves in glory. We'll also be covering our season predictions. So we went by team, what we thought our record was going to be. Yeah.
I did all right.
The chickens are home to roost. So let's go through them.
Some of us did better than other of us. Let's put it that way.
MVP.
16 and 8, son. 16 and 8.
Yeah, start off with MVP. So, So who actually won it, Jim? MVP this year?
Aaron Rodgers.
Second year running, future Denver Broncos quarterback.
No, that's not.
I know.
You get their offensive coordinator, and that's it.
just until it's official, just let me live the dream, all right? Just pipe down. So I went for Matt Stafford, and you two both went for the same player. Do you remember who it was you went for?
God, I have no idea. That's like so many weeks ago.
Months ago. It was Patrick Mahomes you two both went for. We were all wrong, so nil point for any of us. The reason I went for Stafford, I'm going to go backwards one ever so slightly, is because I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl, so I'm giving myself 1 point for that.
No. Randomly giving yourself points now, eh?
Yeah, it's my game. It's my ball. I'll take it home. So, Punk, you had the Bills. You had the Bills versus the Rams in the Super Bowl with the Bills to win it.
Good.
Jim, you had the Chiefs and the Rams with the Chiefs to win it. So you'll get half a point. I get 1.5 because, it's
so it's gone up from 1 to 1.5 now.
Yeah, because I had the Rams in the Super Bowl as well. Can I just say this might be the only points I get in the whole thing? So don't worry. You're going to be on the comeback trail for the team. Don't worry about that. Anyway.
Next category, please.
Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp.
Yes.
Cooper Kupp.
None of us got this.
So, none of us got it.
No.
I went for CMC. Jim, you went for Josh Allen, and Punk, you went for Derrick Henry. I think there's a good chance Derrick Henry may have got it if he hadn't got injured because the way he was motoring on halfway through the season.
Possibly. So I should get a point for him getting injured.
Oh, no, you get deducted because you picked a player who got injured. You're minus 1 for that. No, because McCaffrey played a lot. He just didn't get many yards. So you get minus 1.
No, he definitely was injured.
Pretty certain McCaffrey definitely got injured.
You know who was
my game?
Josh Allen.
My game, my rules. So Defensive Player of the Year, Jim.
DJ Watt.
Some dodgy player.
Point for Jim, but you do lose a point because he plays for the Steelers. So just.
Well.
You
went
for Garrett.
I went for who? I went for Myles Garrett.
How many sacks did TJ Watt get? It was like 20.
22 and a half.
22 and a half.
He tied Michael Strahan's record. And played 2 games less.
I know that, he plays for the Steelers, which means he spent a lot more time on the field being defense. So that's obviously
shows how weak that division is as well.
It is still a
terribly weak division. No one could do much out of that, could they?
You've had to play Burrow twice this season, so the number of sacks that he was going to get was almost guaranteed, wasn't it?
Well, this is the thing. He got 22 sacks. 18 of them came against the Bengals. Did you know that? 18 of them came from the Bengals. Yeah. Ridiculous. I went for Shaq Barrett. So
it's your Denver love.
You're a year late.
Sorry, guys. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I'm going to go first and say who I picked because it's ridiculous.
The winner. The winner was Jamar Chase. You went for Trey Sermon.
Yeah. All right. Let's calm it down.
He's still on the team. He was at the 49ers, wasn't he? He's not even.
No, I think he's a special teams irregular. I want to call it.
Right. Okay.
But he's one of those guys who had a sensational college career and it's just not transitioned. Jim, you got Harris.
Najee was in the condition in the round.
Najee Harris. I was trying to think Harris. Who's Harris?
Najee Harris, you dumbass. He was close. He must have been like second.
No.
No. He didn't fumble the ball once. He had the most rushing yards of any rookie.
He wasn't the offensive player of the year, and he wasn't the defensive player of the year. So he definitely wasn't in the top 2. Was he?
In the running for it.
Your first argument for Najee Harris was the fact he didn't fumble the ball.
Once in the entire season, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Didn't we
Okay.
spend weeks telling you that you needed to run him? So he wasn't actually playing. So how therefore could he have won?
This is true. Travis Etienne never fumbled the ball either.
Yeah,
Punk,
exactly.
you went for Justin Fields,
Oh, so close.
which
so
had
close.
he not had an attempted murder on his life, he may
This
have,
is true.
may
This
have
is
been
true.
half decent.
If the hit had not been taken out, then we might have got somewhere.
By his own head coach of all people. Yeah. Usually it's the opposition's head coach.
Defensive rookie of the year. My pick on this one was as bad as my offensive rookie of the year.
Micah Parsons.
Who won it?
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons. Yes, he did. He
Punk,
definitely did.
Do you remember who you went for?
I do remember who I went for.
You
It
go
was
for
Micah Parsons.
Indeed, it was.
13
Jim?
sacks. Tied a
Yep.
rookie Cowboys record.
The human
True that.
torpedo.
Jim, you went for PS2
Yep.
of the Broncos. I went for Greg Rousseau. Again,
You've done well there, Dave.
you know what?
You've made some really good picks with the rookies. For someone that studies the draft as much as
You know what
you
it
do,
was?
that's pretty good going.
You know what it was? He got injured early, right? No, I didn't really. I'm joking. No, he had a solid season. I think he had a very, very good season. I was hoping he was going to be one of those outside rushers who was really going to get pressures, and he just didn't. But he's a solid player, you know. But he's still a terrible pick. He's not quite Trace.
It's early days. He's still got a chance. Just
Yeah,
not for that
yeah.
award.
He's not a
Not that
bust.
No. He had a great season, really, really good season. So we'll move on to stat leaders.
Wait. You got coach of the year and comeback player of the year.
Coach of the year we didn't do, but who was that?
That was Mike Vrabel. Number one
Kiss of
seed
death
in the
will be out of a job in
AFC.
6 months.
Number one seed in the AFC. He beat
And
the
the
Bills,
AFC
the
was
Rams,
nuts
and the
this
Chiefs.
Yeah.
And he didn't
Yeah.
have Derrick Henry for half of that as well. So no,
Yeah.
All right,
Exactly,
he's in a division with the Jags and the Texans.
and he
He
didn't have
didn't-
Derrick
didn't-
Henry or
didn't have
Julio
Derrick
Jones.
Henry.
Sometimes they had lots of injuries through that team.
Yeah, they did. Just a shame Tannehill wasn't injured in their playoff game, wasn't it? Really?
Mm.
Might have done a bit better.
No. Did you say a shame he wasn't injured?
Shame
He
he
did say he
wasn't
wasn't
injured. They might have done a little bit better.
And the comeback player of the year was Joe Burrow after the ACL tear last year.
We did do comeback player of the year. I had CMC. He'll get comeback player of the year next year, so it's fine. Although it'll probably be
For
Henry,
who?
actually.
For what team? I mean,
Derrick Henry, wasn't it?
where's he
Sure,
going to
this
be?
is true. Jim, you had. Do you remember who you had?
No.
You had Dak Prescott. Not a bad shout.
Uh,
Not a bad shout. Punk, you whiffed as bad as mine because you got injured again. You had Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Again, another injury.
that's not going to happen again. So just letting you know. It's,
No, that's not going to happen
that-
again.
that-
When he
game's
did
over.
play, he looked. When he did play, he looked as though he'd lost that. You know, that
love him feeling.
burst, that second gear. So,
Mm.
but best of luck to him anyway.
He's got reverse.
So yeah, start reverse.
It's the only one. It's
Well,
the only
Nigel-
gear he's found.
Najee Harris has definitely got reverse as well. So
That's
we
outrageous.
start off with rushing leader in terms of yards. Now everyone knows who won this.
Derrick Henry.
Rushing leader in yards.
Jonathan Taylor.
He was so far ahead of everyone when he got injured that it should automatically go to him.
That's the
anyway.
half season awards. These are the full season awards.
Yes, Jonathan Taylor got so many yards, people confuse him for a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. So he was first in rushing yards and rushing TD. So I'll go through those two categories. Rushing yards, I had Derrick Henry. Punk, you had Derrick Henry. We were both wrong. Jim, you got the person who was in second place. Nick Chubb.
Oh, so so close.
He was second place by almost 600 yards, but still second place.
It's
which is
still
good.
second place. First
Yeah,
loser.
yeah. I'll give you credit for that.
Most disappointing.
I was closer
Yeah.
than you.
Rushing touchdowns, I went for Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb was down in 10th, joint 10th. Punk and Jim, you two both went for
Derrick
Derrick
Henry.
Henry. Derrick Henry was, I don't even know where it was. My list doesn't go down that far. So yeah. Oh no, sixth. Played half a season and still got more
It's
than
a long
Derrick
list.
So
Henry.
he was above.
I was looking down. I wasn't expecting him to be higher. So yeah, there you go. But neither of us got it because it was
It's
Taylor.
Jonathan
both of
Taylor.
them. Jonathan Taylor won me fantasy as well.
Just
So-
let you know, Jonathan Taylor's mum didn't have him down as the touchdown and yardage leader
No.
before the season
No.
started. So I don't feel
Oh
that
no,
bad.
absolutely. I'm 100%. I mean, to be fair, the season before I
go.
think in the last 4 or 5 games of the season, he did exactly what he did this season. So he kind of had form for it, but no, he wasn't in that conversation. Receiving yards leader. So Cooper Kupp was receiving yards leader. Yeah, I got 1.4 billion. I had Devontae Adams. Jim, you had Diggs. Not a bad shout. Punk, you had Adams as well. I'm not going to look where they are because I can't be bothered.
It's a
And
quiet year for
receiving-
Diggs.
It was.
a
I mean,
quiet
he
year
had a
for
couple
Diggs.
of
But for Adams as
explosive
well.
moments.
Adams wasn't
Well,
really on fire, was he? Like
You got me
the year
wondering
before.
now. Adams was 3rd. Diggs was 8th.
Mm.
So 1,500 yards for Adams. That's a good season.
It's
That is a
good.
season.
It's very good, but you know,
It's not Adams and Rodgers though, is it?
no,
1,500.
I mean, it's still a solid.
it's not
season.
Simon and Garfunkel, is it?
1,519 touchdowns is not bad. Diggs at 1,212 touchdowns. You do expect a little bit more. I mean, it's still a
Gabriel
good
Davis
season,
was scoring all the touchdowns, wasn't he?
yeah, he was your red zone man. That's who we had, and it was obviously Cooper Kupp. Receiving touchdowns, you and I both had Adams, Jim, and as I say, he got 12. So he was 5th. He was 5th overall. DK Metcalf was 4th. He doesn't feel like he had that good a season.
He had a couple of games, didn't he, where he got 3
Did he
in
have a couple
game.
of big blowers? Is that what it
Yeah.
Must
was?
have done.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
You see, he's come out with an injury. They reckon there was some sort of niggly foot injury that was slowing. There had to be something that was delaying him from being so good through this
I
season.
don't understand how he's regressed as badly as he has this season.
Well, they reckon it was the injury.
I'm quite happy to accept the fact that there was an injury there.
I hope
if
that's
he comes
true.
back better next year, then hooray! Because he's a great player to watch, and him and Debo going off against each other on a regular basis is something
Absolutely.
I definitely want to watch.
Punk, you had Riley Ridley, and I can't look down that far because I'm
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley.
All right, Riley Ridley would have been a better guess, to be perfectly honest. It makes no difference.
That's the problem with this spreadsheet. It's all a guess because we do it at the beginning of the season.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I mean,
So,
Tops for getting
you know.
1 or 2.
I mean, yeah,
Exactly.
some of
I
us had
tried
some
to get
bad
Mike
picks, but
Parsons
Calvin
spot on.
Ridley leaving the team for mental health reasons and not
Yeah.
coming back again. That
After
was a
about 5
special pick
weeks.
from you because you drafted him
Yeah.
as well in fantasy.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I managed to carry my fantasy form into this as well.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
virtually every player I picked in the first 7 rounds got injured, and even the ones that I was picking up off the waiver wires were getting injured. So
You had
Yeah,
people
I
on
had- I
IR,
had-
you just
I had-
weren't dropping
I
as
had-
well.
I couldn't drop them because there weren't enough people on the waiver wire to pick up that would actually
Oh,
play.
there were loads.
To be
So,
fair,
you know,
you and I did
dreadful,
do a
mate.
trade, and there was
Dreadful
very few
season.
trades. There was very few trades in our league this year. You and I did do a
I did.
trade, and the second I traded you, Cortland Sutton, his form just died.
Yeah,
I mean, his form just
completely dropped.
destroyed. I think the week
Yeah.
before he scored like 22 points. You got him,
Yeah.
and every single week he was starting with
So
a 0,
high.
0.3, 0.9.
0.1.
He's ruined his.
Yeah, and that was my season in fantasy, to be honest.
I'm letting you into a secret, lads. We've got 3 more categories, and none of us are getting a single point. So,
Excellent.
passing yards leader was Tom
I'm
Brady.
shocked.
You know,
That's
people
it,
are paying
I said
for
his
this,
name.
yeah,
Yeah,
for us to
don't
get
worry.
stuff wrong. You know,
I can't build tension on this, lad. Sorry. Passing yards leader. You and I had Mahomes, Jim. Punk, you had Rodgers. You were the closest by far. Brady was actually the passing yards
Crazy.
leader. Passing touchdowns, it was also Tom Brady. I had Jameis Winston. How many drugs did I take in that day?
We told you at the time. It was
I
we
know,
did
I
say.
know.
We did say.
I mean, to be fair, he had a banging start to the season. In fairness, he was really slinging it. But it was that
Against
30
the
for 30
Packers,
a
yeah.
couple of years before. You two both had Rodgers. It was obviously Brady, but up there with that too. And then interception leaders. Shocker. We all had Jameis Winston. Simple as that. It was actually. Does any guesses for who it actually was?
Yeah, it was a
Matt
tie.
Stafford.
Matt Stafford and Trevor Lawrence.
Correct.
17.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched the Super Bowl. These stats come up.
No, I know that you looked just before we started this, so don't give me that.
These things get mentioned.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our awards. So
We did well.
win.
We
I
did
won
well.
that one.
How'd
Mainly
you
because
win
of the
that
time
one?
reductions.
I mean, I got Micah Parsons spot on, so I don't know how you win that one, but there you go.
That's
So,
life.
of the actual awards, then, does anyone disagree with any of them, or is everyone fairly comfortable? Rogers, Cup, TJ.
Rogers is a little bit soft. I know that
Burrow.
he only had 4 interceptions. I think that's why really that's what saved him. And they were the number 1 seed in the NFC, but it's the NFC. It wasn't as good a year as last year for him. So, and I do personally think that Cooper Kupp, there's nothing more you could do as a wide receiver than what he did over the 17 games.
Yeah.
What more could he have put in?
Another 5 touchdowns, I guess. But
He had the
maybe
triple,
another 500
he's
yards.
the first person to win the Triple Crown, isn't he, of having the most receptions, yards, and touchdowns in a single season. And he's now got Super Bowl MVP. Not even Jerry Rice managed that in the same season.
Not in the
No
same
one has
season,
done that.
no.
No one has done that before.
Right. But he's not the MVP.
No, I know, but he could have been the MVP as well. Like I'm saying, yeah.
I think they could have flipped him. I think they could have, flipped Rogers to offensive player and left Kupp as the MVP. But it never happens. It's why the MVP is a bit of a damn squib, because it is just literally a quarterback award.
Yeah. And obviously it doesn't take into consideration the playoffs, because obviously Rogers was a damn squib in the playoffs, and Mike Vrabel didn't get much done either for the Titans. They went straight out to the Bengals. Other than that, I mean, you'd be hard pressed to kind of say Joe Burrow didn't deserve it. I think we talked about this mid-season, didn't we? I think it was in the Patreon video.
We did.
And I think I discounted Joe Burrow because I didn't really see him as losing out that much, being that much of a comeback. Not like, I think he didn't miss as much as Dak Prescott, for example, is who I picked as my comeback player.
I think we also did it on the effect they were having on the teams at that point. So at that point, I think the Bengals were very, win one, lose one, etc., etc. And the Cowboys had very much come back and out the traps quickly. Were winning games, and so on and so forth. So I think we kind of at that mid-season point thought, well, actually, Dak Prescott's probably nailed on to win it as well. But I do wonder how much. When do these get voted for? Who knows? Was it a case of actually Burrow just hasn't managed to get injured again behind that offensive line? Let's throw him some love.
Yeah, it's a weird way of putting the voting in, and when they do it, it's not very transparent. Let's put it that way.
No.
In terms of defensive player of the year, I think Shaq Barrett is actually not a bad shout when you compare him to
out
TJ
of
Watt.
here.
No, Shaq Barrett got 10 sacks this season. TJ Watt didn't. He got 22. He did not get 10.
22 and a half.
22 and a half. But TJ Watt did not get a single sack this season for the Buccaneers. I mean, saying,
true.
Not a single one.
I'm absolutely convinced that TJ Watt, that half a sack that TJ Watt got, should actually have gone to a different player, and that Watt just turned up afterwards and got a tap on the helmet or something. And so they gave him the half a sack just so he could equal the record.
Nine of his sacks were actually just tackles.
Yeah, exactly. They were at the line of scrimmage.
It's because the field at Heinz Field is so bad, you can't tell where the lines are. It's rubbish. Jim's had enough.
That's it. He's done. We've finally done it. Oh well, right.
This is what everyone pays for. This is the reason.
This is exactly it.
So
now it's our pod.
I'm not going to say this to Jim, but he's by far and away the defensive player of the year. Ridiculous.
Of course he is.
Absolutely.
It's not even close. Let's be honest.
Robert Quinn is second in terms of sacks, 18 and a half. I didn't realize he had that good a season.
He did. He did definitely. But
Quinn.
There is absolutely no doubt at all that TJ is the defensive player of the year for this year. But there is no way on this planet I'm going to let him sit there and have that. Oh, hello, Jim. How you doing? We were just talking about.
Finished?
I mean,
offensive rookie of the year.
30 seconds is usually enough for you to stop talking about that.
Nah.
No, it's not.
Ridiculous. Carry on.
No, it's fine. Carry on.
Nothing more to say to you.
We were just We were just saying that TJ Watt's performances for the Buccaneers has been rubbish this season. He didn't do anything for them.
Look, you're gonna have to own a lot of these, Dave. You know, Greg Rousseau, Shaq Barrett,
Yeah, totally.
Jameis Winston.
But murdered you in fantasy. So
I came second in the league.
You can tell it's the end of the season, can't you?
That's what he's got to hark back to is one fantasy win.
I did well in fantasy.
Yeah, I won fantasy.
Came third in the picks.
I won the picks.
Beat you in the picks,
won the
Dave.
picks. You were 10 ahead with 3 weeks left, and
Jim,
choked worse than the Falcons.
You're adding phantom points here, there, and everywhere. Don't give me this shit. I love the fact we've all forgotten about play action pools. What was it? I can't remember the name of it now.
Play action pools.
That's playactionpools.com, Dave.
Can't advertise on here, mate. Charging people for this.
Going to paywall. So we went through division by division and picked who we thought were going to win. I'm not going to say what we all thought, unless you want actually. I can say who was closest.
No, just go with who was closest.
Cool. Okay,
just say Liam won.
AFC
Simple.
East. AFC East. So Bills got. I don't know how many. I didn't actually write down what they did.
Bills went 11 and 6.
11, yeah.
So Bills got 11. I was closest with 12. Dolphins, you're gonna have to tell me how many wins they got because I didn't write down.
9.
Unfortunately. So Dolphins got 9. Punk, you and I were closest with 10. Jim said 11. Patriots, how many wins?
10.
10. Punk, you were closest with 9. Me and Jim both said 8. And then Jets, I was closest with 4. Punk, you said 5. Jim said 9. Jim, 9?
Well,
next season.
Craziness. So AFC North. I come out of that winning the AFC East, by the way. AFC North, that might be the last one I win. AFC North, Steelers got, we had, Punk, you and I had 9. Jim had 13. Obviously, we won that one because they were nowhere near 13. I'm going to have to get up on my other screen who actually got what because it's confusing me a little bit. So next is the Baltimore Ravens. Injuries galore. You won that one, Jim. You said they get 7. They got 8. So yeah, not a great.
What did you two say?
Them. I said 12. Punk, you said 11.
Outrageous.
I was furthest away.
The injuries let them down.
Yeah, I mean they got murdered by injuries. Cleveland Browns, Jim, you won that one as well. Jim, you walked this division. You said that they would get 10. They, in fact, got 8.
Would your boy say 15 or something?
Punk said 17. I said 11.
Suck it in.
He said 12. I'm joking. He said
I went 12, I think.
Just drinking that Browns juice before the season started.
Bengals, I said 5. Punk, you said 4. Jim, you said 6. None of us should get a point for this, but Jim, it does go to you.
I do get a point for that.
Miles off.
Yeah.
AFC South, Titans, I said 12. Punk, 11. Jim, 10. Titans got 12, so I was bang on. Colts, Punk, you and I get a point because we said 9 each, and they actually got 9, so I'm bang on for that one. Texans, 3. They got 4. That's me. Punk, you said 1. Jim, you said 2. Jags, they said 5. They got 3. You all went higher than that. So I come off with a 100% record in the AFC South. And for me, I've peaked.
Congratulations.
How many did you say you get for the Texans?
I said 3.
You said 3 for the Texans. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you said 1.
No, Punk, you said 1.
I said 1.
2.
I thought Punk said 0 and you said 1 and I said 2. Okay, carry on.
AFC West. I've had a shocker.
You're not suggesting that Dave is possibly manipulating the
numbers?
I would never suggest that.
No,
absolutely not.
No, I'm sure not.
On my son's life, I absolutely am not. 100%.
Don't put your son's life on it, Dave, please, because we know you're lying.
That's how confident I am. No, Charles, honestly, I'm not. AFC West, I've had an absolute shocker.
It's your division.
The division you know, so,
Yeah,
but I've
mine. Got rose-tinted glasses, and Chiefs got 12 wins in real life. Punk, you were bang on. You got 12 wins. We both went higher, Jim.
13.
Raiders, Punk, you got 9 on this one. So they got 10 wins. You said 9. Jim and I were both a lot lower. I mean,
absolutely. See, no faith. No faith.
I got the Chargers. I got the Chargers here because I said the Chargers would get 9 and they did get 9. You two went 1 either way. Broncos, I said 10. Jim, you agreed with me. Punk, you got it right with 7. Unfortunately,
that's right. That's right.
So
I
AFC,
rule the West.
After the AFC,
can have
Jim,
it.
you're on 3 points, and they're all from your division.
Yes.
Punk, you've got 7, and I got 9. Okay.
But I rule the
What?
West, so that's all that matters.
You ruled the West, yeah. You ruled the West. So let's move into
This
the
can't be
NFC. And last year, when we did this season before, Jim, you had a shocker in the NFC. This year's
Prepare for it again.
So NFC East or NFC Least. The Washington football team, or what are they called this week?
The Commandeers.
Commandeers.
Snyders,
So,
Commandantes.
Yeah. So the Washington
Submarines.
The Commanders.
The Commanders. Wow. So the Washington Commandants. So I had them as 10, Jim 14, Punk 9. Punk, you get the point on that because they actually got 7.
Absolutely.
The Giants, infamously, Jim, you said they get 2. What a ridiculous thing to say. You got the point because we both went 9. What did they
Bring me
actually get?
that point.
What did they actually get? 5?
4.
No, they got 4. They got 4. Dallas.
They were lucky to get 4 as well.
They were.
They were.
One of them was
fortunate to get
against
4.
us.
Jesus Christ. You can see why we both went for 6 now.
Yeah, but
Dallas actually got 12.
12.
You and I, Jim, got. Me and you, Punk, got a point for 9. Jim, you went 7. Eagles got 5 wins. Or we said 5 wins, and they got 9. I think that surprised everyone.
Mhm.
So yeah, Punk, you won that division. There's going to be a theme here. AFC North. So Packers got 13
NFC North.
wins. NFC North. Packers, you said Packers 13 wins. Punk, you said 13, so you spot on. Jim and I, you both went under.
1 under for me.
1 under, yeah, but we still didn't
under.
get it right.
I know,
now,
but just
so-
saying it's close. It's just saying under.
No,
It could have
I
been
got
4
the same
wins or
as you.
something, you know. It wasn't way off.
so you're
One
first
game.
loser
We
again.
both said we both
It's
said
just
12.
first loser again, really.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
running a theme here.
Yeah. Chicago Bears. Jim, you get a point here. You got spot on. 6 wins. We were both higher. Minnesota Vikings. Vikings got 8 wins. Punk, spot on. 8 wins. We were both lower. You and I, Jim. Again, you were lower by 1. I'll give you credit for that. I was lower than that.
That's why he's saying it.
No, I got 6.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions. You get the point. Punk, you said 4. They actually scored 3. Jim, you and I both had 5.
Yeah.
So you rule the North there. Please don't make.
I'm just
any,
ruling everything.
Please don't make.
I'm
any
the king
Game
of the
Thrones
North.
reference. Yes.
I'm the king of the North.
He said don't do
NFC
that.
South. NFC South. Saints.
Because I listen to him a lot.
Saints got 9 wins. Surprised
wow.
everyone because we
Saints
had
got
7
9.
each. Bucks, I got a point for 13 because that's exactly what they got. You two were both lower by 1. Panthers were the big shock for me. They only got 5 wins. Punk, you said they'd get 4 wins. Jim, you and I were both significantly higher.
I remember that conversation at the beginning of the season, actually, and you guys were really on the Panthers.
They were 3-0. They were 3-0 at the start of the season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
they bombed out.
they absolutely were. But you two, for some God known reason, just decided that the Panthers were the second coming of the 1980s 49ers or
That's not
something,
true.
and thought they were going to
You
just,
mute him.
you know,
Jim,
walk
mute him.
the division
Get
and
rid of him.
everything else. It's. I told you at the beginning of the season.
Oh,
Do
yeah,
it.
there we go. Okay, so the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons got 7 wins. Punk, you get the point on that because they got 8. Jim, you and I were both lower. Well done for doing that, by the way.
That's-
Right,
Brutal.
the final
Brutal.
division, NFC West. So
It wasn't the
NFC
last
West.
part of this. If it wasn't the last part of the season, I'd
Jim,
probably
mute him
walk
again.
out.
Get rid of
you
him
know?
again. Right,
Dreadful,
Seattle Seahawks. Well, one
dreadful.
of us has already
Bullying.
walked out.
I
We
mean,
can't get
call
66% of us leave.
yeah.
Seattle Seahawks. You get the point.
Oh,
Jim.
where
You
are
said
we
the
now?
Seahawks only get NFC West.
Yes.
You said the Seahawks would get 5 wins. They actually got 7, and with a terrible season, Punk, you and I were obviously higher.
Obviously.
But
Well, I
yeah,
had
it
12
was
and
bad. I
5
knew it was
for
gonna be
everyone in
bad.
that division, didn't I?
you did. You had 12 for everyone, and
Yeah.
you still walked away with the crown for this division, which is
Yep.
ridiculous. So,
Told you.
yeah, the Rams 12 wins. Guess who won that?
Thank you.
Cardinals. Now the Cardinals got 11 wins, but Jim, you and I were both way off. I was low on the
Well,
Cardinals.
2 games.
Which, yeah, but you still
Well,
off.
way off.
It's still
I
off. I
was-
was 1 off, so. I
had 8. I was low on the Cardinals this season, mainly because of Cliff Kingsbury. So I got the playoffs right because they were rubbish. And 49ers, last but not least, the 49ers. I won that one because I said they get 9 and they got 10. You two both had 12. So on the shakeout of it, NFC, Jim, you and I, both as bad as each other in the NFC. We both only got 4. He who shall not be named, the muted one, got 11, which means overall.
How did you get 11?
Scores, I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's easy. I'm going to give everyone 12.
Predictions, understanding the teams and the divisions and the games they have to play. You were going to do it. I know you were going to.
It was hovering.
You two just you predict with your hearts and not your heads, and it costs you every single season.
Yeah. Coming from the Raiders fan, I mean, this is rich. This is rich.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Punk, you got 18. I got 13. Jim, you got 7. But I'll give you props, Jim.
I was close.
I went through
right?
it. You were close on a lot of them. You were way off on a couple as well.
Yeah.
You were miles off on a couple. I was miles off on a couple. My really bad one, the one I was furthest away, was Arizona. And yeah, I don't think we covered ourselves in glory on certain occasions. Let's just put it that way.
Covered yourselves in something, but it certainly wasn't glory.
Washington was my big miss, but
Washington was the one that surprised me, I think, as well.
If you give one the win, you've got to give someone else the loss, and so if you get one wrong, you invariably got another one wrong because.
Which is why you just say 12-5 for the whole division, and at least 3 of them are going to be roughly right. So yeah,
prepare for the next picks.
So everyone, the whole NFL's going 12-5 next year.
Yeah, your worst pick, Jim, was the Colts. You said the Colts would only win 5. They won 9. This is based purely on percentages. I know you're only 4 games off, but percentage-wise, that was your worst pick. Punk, I think yours was, you said 12 for everyone, so yours wasn't actually that terrible. So you just sat on the fence the entire time.
I think probably my worst one was
Arizona.
What was my worst one? My worst one was it like the Eagles or something?
We were all bad on the Eagles though.
Washington was my worst. I was 7 off.
No,
Washington or the Eagles. I can't remember exactly what I put, but
Eagles you got a point for because you said 5, but the Eagles I think they came out with 9 wins. I mean, they were a playoff team. No one thought they were going to be a playoff team.
No.
I just didn't have it. Jim, you had 5. I had 4. So we're all basically had the same.
Underestimate how good Jalen Hurts is.
Quarterback.
Yeah,
they need a quarterback.
They need a quarterback, don't they? Otherwise, they're not
if they're making the playoffs with that team. I'm really happy with my New York Giants pick. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty happy with that. I knew they were going to struggle, and they did. The Eagles
did do well in the playoffs as well.
I give you the Giants. I didn't see them struggling as badly as they did.
But they did lose. They did lose. I mean, I know Daniel Jones is garbage, and I know people in glass houses throw stones, blah blah blah. As a quarterback, he's not good. Right. And the Giants have confirmed they are moving ahead with Daniel Jones as well. They're not going for anyone else in free agency or the draft. So
for one more year at least.
Too many holes to fill.
Well, they've said
might as well just let him go on for another season.
You've got a quarterback who can't throw to the left. You've got a banged up running back, and you've got nothing else. You've got a bad really bad O-line, really bad O-line, and their defense
and a number one
average,
receiver, and a number 1 wide receiver that has scored 0 touchdowns this season.
Exactly,
and
$72 million contract,
and a first-round pick wide receiver who didn't also catch a touchdown. That was his name, Tony.
Yeah.
He looks all right because Kadarius Toney when he was playing, but it was so rare. He was just injured for so many times. So, yeah, it's the massive struggle for Brian Daboll to get around that. But
they don't have a run game. They don't have a lot of cap space left. Injuries galore, and
Daniel Jones. They've got
someone who can.
Yeah. So good luck
to them for one next season.
It's a real tough gig.
I wouldn't want it.
I'll give it a go.
I'll give it a go, but if they're going to pay me.
One thing that's quite interesting though is the teams who often have the whole defense wins championships.
Yeah.
The teams who actually concede the fewest points more often than not didn't make it through to the playoffs. So the Dolphins had the best defense in the East. They're not a playoff team. The Ravens had the best defense in the North. This is purely on points.
Defenses win championships, not regular season.
Yes, absolutely. They, more often than
not. You've got to get to the tournament first.
But in lots of the divisions, Saints had the best defense, and Washington had the best defense in terms of points in the East, and none of them were playoff teams. So just an interesting thing.
You've got to look at the offense when the Saints offense.
Oh yeah,
seriously.
Saints offense. Let's have a look. 482 points. That's not bad. So I'd say
Alvin Kamara was busy then.
In Denver 9 times out of 10.
Let's get out of here. So we've done the review of all of the awards that were given out and the picks that we made before the season started. So hopefully you found that entertaining, guys, even with some mutes and walkouts. But I think they were
muting me. I mean, it's just rude.
Absolutely
it's just rude.
Do it again.
Don't need to. Thanks very much for your support, and they will back very soon with some draft coverage. So cheers.